Okay, today we're going to mount this TV on this wall. Okay, the mount is this one here, Rocketfish 32 to 75 inch TV wall mount. This is what the bracket's supposed to look like. Fits most TVs up to 130 pounds. And it says it's tilting. Okay. All right, first thing we need to do, open up the box and put all the items in the box spread out so that you can see everything that we have. And familiarize yourself with each of the items. Okay, when we open the box, we get the template of what we need. We have the wall mounting guide, okay, showing you what the parts look like and telling you all the tools that you're going to need to do it. This should be in your hardware bag, all these screws. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I like to take out all the parts and take a look at everything that I have before I start. Now, I have already gone over the wall to try and find the studs, but this is an older house and it has plaster walls, so my magnets aren't working. I've somewhat located one, but it's not in the area that I need. So I'm going to have to look and see by these outlets that are here. I'll open up take the covers off, and I'll take a look inside and see which side the stud's on. And hopefully there's one at each one. And that'll tell me approximately the spacing of the studs so that I can get it worked out. Because whenever you see an outlet, normally they're going to be right up against an existing stud. So that's a easy way to locate it, and then from there I can measure over and try to find the other studs that I can hit. Otherwise, I'm going to have to open up the wall and put backing in the wall, which is not a big deal, but it's something that would have to be done. All right, let's get started. Okay, I get the brackets behind the TV and I look for where they get mounted. Okay, you see these four screw holes in the back of the TV. Now, the TV itself is pretty flat in the back, so you could attach them directly to that. But because on the bottom of the TV, this has this ledge, I'm going to go ahead and use the spacers that they provided so that this sits back further, so it's going to be onto the bracket properly, so then it will be able to tilt. It is a tilting device, but this part right here is extended out further. So this way this bracket, rather than sitting tight against the TV, it will be even with the furthest out part of the TV, making it easier to be able to get to all the different devices that help it to tilt. All right. Okay, get the proper screws because they're going to give you plenty different ones. Okay, make sure that it threads in. Okay, this one's threading in fine. Okay, so you want to make sure you get the proper washers that are going to fit on the screws that you're going to use, and the proper spacers to get it to be even with the furthest out part of the back of the TV. Okay, now I'm getting ready to mount this. Now I've already put the one on the one side. Okay, it's important to put this knob facing closest to the edge So then the other one will be the knob facing this edge, so that you're able to reach behind the TV to tighten it or loosen it when you're tilting. Okay, now the bottom one on here is a slip. So that's, put it to where you're trying to get this knob to be the center as much as possible. It's not going to be that critical. Then you take the screw with the washer, and then the spacer has these little things inside to where you're able to pop it on the screw and it'll stay. Just like this one. I already know how many holes down this one worked out. I just counted them down and put it in the same hole so they will be even. All right, then when you put it on here, you put the bottom one in first, just tighten it a little bit, then get the top one in, tighten it all the way, then go back to the bottom and tighten it fully. Okay, I put the bottom one on, but it's just a little snug. This way I was able to get the top one in there. Double check at this point, making sure these are even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th hole. That works for this TV. Yours may be different. Okay, now get the top one all the way tightened. Okay, and then tighten the bottom one. Okay, double check them, make sure they're as tight as you can get them. Okay, now they're both on. This screw piece needs to be the top. This will help you level it if you're not perfectly level when you set your piece to the wall. Okay, but your track is going to clip onto the bottom of this. This is spring loaded. You're going to have to pull it down, or when you push it, it will click into place. Then you'll tighten this top screws on each one of these to get it to be the level that you need it to be once you install it. But I plan on getting the bracket on the wall nice and level. I use my laser when I do it, and that's how it works. All right, let's work on finding these studs. Well, these walls are plaster, so it's tough to find the studs with a magnet that I usually use. You could try a stud finder, but with the plaster walls, they're pretty thick. So what I like to do is I find the electrical outlet that's near where I'm going to install the TV, which happens to be directly underneath. And then I remove the socket and locate where the stud is. And see if we can find a screw or nail that is touching or holding this box to a stud. May have to get a flashlight. As you can see, I had to pull the outlet. I could not see in there. And even with the flashlight, I couldn't see in, but what I did is made sure the wires everything's out of the way, turn off the breaker, put my finger in there, and I can feel the screws. So the stud is on this side. So I'll transfer that up. Okay, now I've established this is what I want the center of the TV to be. This is where I have one stud. On plaster walls, your stud spacing can be 14 to 16 inches. And my template, I could put it at the center. I could put it at the center, but it won't hit the stud in those grooves. So I'm going to make the bracket off center, and it's okay to do that because the brackets that are on the back of the TV can slide left or right to still get to center, okay? And as long as you're not moving too far that you're gonna be outside of the TV, this will be fine. So I'm going to do it right about here, giving me enough room. Okay, so now I have located the studs, and I'm going to work out the bracket so that we're screwing right into the studs. I've done work in this house, so I know that the studs are wood. If they're metal, we would do something different. If they're metal studs, you would do everything the same, except you would use a toggle bolt. And make sure that you drill completely through, hopefully the center of the metal stud. And then when you use a toggle bolt, it'll tighten it up nicely and you won't have to worry. But they're wood, so I'm going to be able to use the hardware that they gave us with the big lags and bolt it right into the wooden stud. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to measure from the bottom of the TV up to this part where the bracket is going to land. Okay, I've already measured it, and I know that's about, from the bottom to this mark is about 17 inches. So this is the template. This would be the way the bracket would go. Okay, the template is the size of the bracket. And then we mount the bracket. I know that's the center I want the TV. The bracket's going to be off center, okay, of the TV. So that's why the center mark I have on the template is not center of the bracket, but that's the center I want the TV, because then the holes will line up on the bracket to where I can attach to the wood stud. Now you need to find out, I want the bottom of the TV to be at 48 inches off the floor. Then I know the bottom of the TV to this is 17 inches. So I add those two figures together, and that's going to be the top of my template. Okay? And that's how I'm going to mount it. I'm also going to use my laser so I can get it, the template, which will be the bracket, at a level point. Okay, I use my laser because it's simple. You can use a level either way. Okay, I've put a mark on the wall. I know that's the height that I want the top of the bracket to be. And I use this, I put it on that mark, and then I see where my laser is shooting. It's right about 38. So then I transfer 2 marks on the wall when I measure up from my laser line, and that gives me the top of my bracket, or at this point, the top of my template, so I can drill the holes. We're gonna pre-drill the holes because the lags are a very good size. Okay, I have now taped my template to the wall. This is where the one screw is, and the other one is right here. This is where the studs are. Okay, so one stud's here and one stud's here. Okay, so now I have the template. I double checked it from there to my benchmark, which is my laser line. You don't have to do that. You can use a level. It'll be fine. Okay, now I'm gonna pre-drill the holes because the lags are a pretty good size. Okay, so I don't want to break the 2x4 up. I want to pre-drill it and be able to use my impact gun to put the bracket on the wall with these big lags. Okay. Okay, I'm going to pre-drill it. Okay, I'm going to pre-drill it. All right, let me get them drilled so I can get this bracket up. Okay, I have them all pre-drilled, and now I'll take the template off. Okay, let's mount the bracket. Okay, now I tried to determine if this is upright or upside down. All the diagrams show it to be like this. If you see the design in the center, it goes up like this in every one of the drawings in the book. It somewhat looks like the top one's a little bigger than the bottom one, and I would imagine it's because of the different hooks that are mounted on the TV. All right, let's go ahead and get this mounted. Okay, I've just started them. I haven't put them in all the way yet because I wanted to get everything aligned before I tighten it up all the way. All right, I'm using an impact gun with a socket on it. You can just use a regular socket wrench, whatever you have. I like using this because I pre-drilled and everything's gonna go in nicely. All right, let me finish putting this up. Okay, I double checked it with center, so I tapped it over to where I wanted it. Okay, I double checked again from the top to my laser line so that I know that I'm level. And now I'm gonna go ahead and finish bolting them to the wall. Okay, now I've got them tight to the wall. This puppy's not going anywhere. Okay, now he hasn't said if he wanted the wires in the wall, but I'm assuming he does. So I'm gonna need to contact him so that I can put a hole in the wall, pass the wires through. Okay, and that's it. Just lift it up. I had to tilt the top of the brackets in towards the TV. Then lift it up, get it on the bracket, bring it down, and it snaps right into place. Then if you don't have it level, you can screw the screws down on the top. That'll keep it from coming off. Plus, it'll help you to level it one way or the other. I double checked it with my laser and it's perfectly level. All right, that's how you use this mount to mount any flat screen TV. All right, Building with Papa. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Give me a thumbs up. See you on the next one.